What's up, you guys? Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, I'm Lydia, and if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the growing family, turn notifications on, and while you're down there, give me a thumbs up. Today, we're doing a Q&A. Mental health Q&A. Whoop, 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 whoop. If you want to ask questions for future Q&As, head over to my Instagram. That's where I ask the questions because it's just a lot easier. I can make it anonymous and it just works a hell of a lot better. First question is, how are you? Simple answer, ill. But no, in all seriousness, I am doing okay. I just happen to be ill when I'm filming this. It's the 2nd of November when I'm filming this, and I've got a job interview on the 4th. Need to get better. I also didn't sleep very well last night. I woke up at midnight and I was awake until 6. I did have to have sugar last night though, so... Are you living in supported place or own flat? Basically, I have my own flat, but it is in supported living. Desk table situation going on with clothes and lots of records and my iMac and my tripods and my skincare. There's a lot happening over there. Then I've got my wardrobe and my chest of drawers. I've got a chair, I've got my books, and I've got my bed. And I've got a ukulele. But yes, it is in supported living, so there are staff here 24/7 and they control my medication. And they cook meals. I don't eat all the meals because a lot of the time it's rice and I just can't stomach rice. Next question is, how did you know when recovery began? So I feel like I've been in recovery since I was 13. Like, I've gone periods of 2 years self-harm free, and then I've relapsed, which it sucks. I did do a whole video on that. If you want to see that, I'll link it on the iCard up there. Oh, that hurts to lift my arm. Ugh. I feel like for me, recovery really began after my year-long admission. And after that admission, I feel like I really matured in that situation. I should point out I haven't seen these questions before, so I'm answering off the cuff. But definitely after my year-long hospital admission, I think something just clicked to me and I was like, I don't want to spend my life in hospital. Because, and I'm going to admit something here that I probably shouldn't admit. When I was younger, I wanted to be in hospital. It was a goal for me. That's how I knew I was sick enough. And that desire led to 50 odd hospital admissions. I just dropped my phone. I need that. And so yeah, I really do believe I matured during that year-long hospital admission, and Next question is, how is your mental health? So my mental health is actually doing pretty well. I am in a depressive episode. Shock, I know. Who would have guessed? I'm always in a fucking depressive episode. But on the whole, I am doing okay. Like I know I'm depressed, but that's my normal. So yeah, I think overall I'm doing okay. I'm not self-harming, I'm not engaged in ED behaviours, I'm not suicidal, I'm not hallucinating, apart from the bugs crawling over me one. I hate that hallucination, because every night I get it, I know it's a hallucination, but it still feels so real that I end up scratching my legs. The amount of scars I've got on my legs from where I've clawed them to death where I'm trying to get these bugs off. Next question is, what is a goal you're trying to reach? I don't really know. I don't set goals, really. I've got goals for YouTube, but that's not really what you mean, is it? My goal for YouTube is to reach 7.5k by the end of the year. My short-term goal is to stop being ill. That's not really a goal, that's just a state of fact that will get better. Ugh. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that question, if I'm being honest. Sorry. Is mental health genetic? Well, let me tell you. Bipolar disorder runs in my family, and while I know I have schizoaffective bipolar type, it still has a little mix of bipolar in it. So, yeah, I'm just a bit different. It's cool being a bit different. No point following the pack. But my grandma is bipolar, my mum is bipolar, I'm schizoaffective bipolar type. My dad was bipolar. I don't know if my brothers are bipolar or not, I don't think they are. I don't know about my dad's father or anything because I haven't had anything to do with that side of the family. And obviously my dad died earlier this year, so I can't ask him. But yes, mental illness can be genetic. And take bipolar for example, that's the only example I can use because it's what I've grown up with. And bipolar basically runs in families most of the time. What's one thing you found really helpful in terms of recovery? Definitely not DBT. Anyone who knows me knows this, and if you're new, subscribe. But I hate DBT with a passion. I understand it helps some people, I'm not discrediting it completely, saying it's useless, it just never helped me personally, and I've done it 3 times. 4 times. So the one thing I found really helpful in my recovery is breathing exercises. If you know me, deep breathing. Deep breathing, deep breathing, deep breathing. Best thing you can do. And it really helps with anxiety, which is one of my most severe mental illnesses. I know you're probably thinking, okay, isn't schizoaffective more debilitating? My anxiety is debilitating, and hands down affects me the most. So breathing exercises have really helped me be able to go to job interviews like I'm doing on Tuesday. What has been the hardest part of your year? Now, it's no secret that this year has been a challenge, and there are a lot of things that have happened that have been hard. For one, my grandma's surgery, first surgery, then losing my dad. I'd say the hardest thing this year was losing my dad. And people are probably wondering, like, why is that such a hard thing? You never talked about him. And that's true, I didn't. But last year, I went to visit my dad for the first time in a long time. Like, about 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. Like, I was young the last time I went to see him. But me and my dad had started having phone calls and conversations, and we was building a relationship up, and this is a relationship that I've craved since I was a kid. I've always wanted a relationship with my dad, and when I got the news that he had died, I just couldn't help but cry, because at his funeral I cried, not because he was dead, but because I knew I was never going to have that relationship with him. What are your thoughts on people taking the piss out of those with mental illness? It's so wrong. Like, it shouldn't happen. And when it does happen, it's heartbreaking, really, because people don't have compassion for others. Like, yes, people are different, but that doesn't mean you should take the mick out of them. I had it happen to me, like, on Reddit. People are like supposed and faking and attention seeking, and it's a whole ball game. Next is, what do you think about the stigma surrounding mental health? So I'm not going to deny that there's a large amount of stigma when it comes to mental illness and mental health. Like, there is a lot of stigma. Like, when I told someone about my hallucination, she just laughed, and I was like, it's really not funny. But when it comes to the stigma, I think people are just uneducated. Why is it focusing there? Is there a ghost? What? Camera, stop being stupid. What do you think of people who say those with mental illness are attention seeking? I did just cover this briefly, but I'll do it again. People are like, oh, why do you film that and put it on the internet? Like, when I phoned the crisis team and he hung up on me, he was like, why did you upload that? And I'm like, to raise awareness. It's not attention seeking. Well, it is attention seeking because I want your attention, to bring clarity into what actually happens when people reach out for help. Like, in that video, I was suicidal. I was really depressed and I was crying, and then he goes, okay, bye bye, and just hangs up, and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I wanted your attention, but not because I crave the attention, because I want to raise awareness. But what do I think of the people that say people are attention seeking? I think they're just uneducated, if I'm being honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I don't think they're bad people. I think they genuinely are just uneducated, and there is no shame in that at all, because that is what counts, really. You're just mugging through through it and you're working hard to get to the other side. My best bit of advice is stick with it. Keep fighting, because it will get better. Oh, the sun's come out to play. Nice. Next question. You used to be really immature. Since your year-long mission, you've matured. How? I said this earlier, but when I was younger, I craved a hospital admission because that was the way I was valid. That's not the case. Going into hospital doesn't make you valid. Just having a diagnosis of a mental illness is validation. You don't need to seek out validation. Your experience is valid. And since I came out of that admission, I realised that I didn't want to spend my life in hospital. And I also think it has a lot to do with the fact that my medication was changed a lot. Like, I'm on 15 milligrams of haloperidol, and I do think that my medication has a huge role to play in my stability, and that's okay. You know, we can't all choose what we're going to experience. What happens when you get admitted to a psych ward? I will do a whole video on this because that's a pretty big subject, but I'll go over it briefly. When you first go into hospital, they take all your things, not your phone, you're allowed your phone, but they have to safeguard you, and they do a risk assessment and they give you back the items that are risk-free. I've been in some hospitals where you're not allowed to have shampoo and conditioner. I've been in some hospitals where you're allowed lung cables. I've been in some hospitals where you're not allowed to have laptops, and they go through your things basically. Then you're shown to your room. Now, I've been in some hospitals where it's had dorms, and it's just not the vibe, because I had one patient keep coming in my room and giving me yogurt, even though I don't like yogurt. And then she'd be like, oh, she's smoking crack. It's not a therapeutic environment. But on the whole, in the UK, psych wards have individual rooms. And yeah, that's all the questions that I've got for this video. If you're new, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, I can't wave with that hand.